Okay. I'm just gonna jump right in because I'm working on a thing. Oh, cut out the word. Try not to fuck my copy. There's so many screwdrivers right here. I think that's good. Do that. Now the next bit of housekeeping that I'm doing. Morning, everybody. Who's ever showed up? I think I got it. Hello. Hey, can you do me a favor and say something else? Oh. It's morning's coffee. This is a different geek grind. Today's coffee is Medieval Mischief. It is an Irish cream flavored coffee. Hey, that works. Although now it's hard for me to see. Alright, so let's go in and I'm trying to get rid of the yeah, there we go. There we go. That Christmas theme that has been plaguing my chat box for like months. Alright, so that works. All I need now is for these other things at the top to work. I'll work on those later. But yeah. What do you think? I tried a new keycap set instead of KKB red, white, blue. This is an MDA profile. So, a bit more of a sculpted flat top. This is the XVX navy gray keycap set. It's a relatively cheap, like $20 keycap set. I've had it for years. It has the best kitting ever. Like, it just has every possible key that you could possibly want. The only problem that I've ever found with these particular ones is that if you put on and take off the keycaps a lot, I have broken the stems on the keys before and had to have actually replaced this set once. But I was thinking about it the other day and I'm like, wow, that would go with this keycap or this keyboard very nicely. Yeah, like literally the one side, because it's not like here you have this whole round piece where it's the stem. It's just a thin outline of the wall. Actually, I can show you because I have that like right here. So you can see, like, it doesn't have the whole thing, like the whole round part. It just has this outline. And so, like, one side of the keycap breaks out. exciting. I am so excited by that chat working properly. Okay. How are you doing today? How you feeling? I know you said your family's feeling better. How are you feeling? Because I know you are still feeling bad, and you had an exam. Let me know if the music is too loud. I think I am going to turn it down just a little. Or if it gets kind of repetitive. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying something new. Always trying something new. The story of my life. What's up, Klex? Morning. Just putting away my Athena so that we can start with today's builds. Gotta unplug it. Don't be crazy. Because that's me. I'm crazy. I'm insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain! Oh, I'll check it. Thank you for that. That would be well, I was just asking how you feeling and how you're yep, there it goes. Sure enough. Here we go. How about now? Is that better? All right. Yeah. I was trying to fix my chat overlay from the stupid Christmas theme that it's had for months. And whenever I change overlays, it messes up. So today we're going to be looking at these. And we are going to start with you. Because I need a keyboard to actually start with. We'll break out the EC. So we're going to be building these into this keyboard to start. This keyboard being the well, it's also their weekend whiz, so
Yeah, this morning when I was testing everything before when I was setting it up, it started off super blurry, and I had to do the thing to make it fix. Yes, so these are the XVX Whisper switches. They are a combination switch. So on the normal, and for some reason I no longer have them here. Oh, they're there. So this is the, pull it out of the way for a second so I can do a little show and tell. This is the AE Board's Navy EC switch. So it's a rubber dome, but you can't really see because it's so dark. But it's essentially a rubber dome EC MX compatible. Morning, Toe Popper. And then this is the Haimu Moonlight, and this is a rubber dome Hall effect. So instead of the spring, it has the magnet in the middle. Well, this is the XVX Moonlight switch, and it does both. There's one I think is, come on you. This has both. So it has both the spring and the magnet in it. So that you should be able to use it on both. And it uses essentially all of these rubber dome, right? The magic of magnets and springs combined. By their powers combined. Everybody remember Captain Planet? No, that's why we're in the position we're in now. So, most of these switches these days use the same sort of technology. Basically, AE boards kind of pioneered it, I would say, when they made the reds and the navies, which, not to be confused with their actual mechanical reds or their actual mechanical navies, which are interesting. Yeah, so the other interesting thing that they include, which I kind of like, is 2 springs for your spacebar. We're going to set these off to the side. We will be using them. Stabilizers. I think they might be making a live action Captain Planet, but the only live action Captain Planet that they have available right now, and I highly recommend going and looking it up, is the Saturday Night Live series of skits with Don Cheadle as Captain Planet, where Captain Planet just can't take it anymore and he just goes rogue and evil and starts turning people into trees and stuff. It was great. Coffee. So the Agar, this is the Agar. I have Cam Super User on it right now, and we'll take off A. The one I wanted, but it's the one I'm gonna get. So normally when you have a Topre like, yes you do need some coffee, right? Normally when you have Topre they use a different kind of rubber dome system that is just completely different than the MX style and do not normally work. And then recently, when actually it might have been the Agar being the first, they AE boards in conjunction with TTC created this MX style EC switch. You can see that there's nothing in the bottom here, and that is because the way that an electrocapacitive switch works is that this rubber spring drops down, makes contact. No, it fits in an MX socket. It does not work because you have to have the electrocapacitive technology. Now there is, and we'll do our stretch. We'll show off our t-shirt. It says, "I have no idea what I'm doing." Ooh, and I don't know if you heard that. I could hear it, and that was loud. Right. So I think that, didn't they make a PCB that has both on it? First things first, let's see if it even works. So I'm just going to drop it in here, and then we'll go look it up, because I think that there was one or two keyboards that has the socket that fits both. So we're dropping our new XVX switch in there. Yeah, I think this keyboard had a combination, maybe. I don't know. I really wanted this keyboard though. Oh, but it was so expensive. Yeah, that's what I thought. The Blue Ridge, this guy. Oh, sorry. I thought I was doing show and tell. I was not. Yeah. This beautiful, beautiful keyboard. But it also did straight EC with the Dynapack. Now, Dynapacks are kind of a new nope, that's not the right Dynapack. Dynacap. There you go. Dynacap. So this is what a normal EC cap looks like. But in previous days, the sliders would have different tops on them. So they were not MX compatible to the keycaps. And you had to get... Dynapacks are groups of Dynacaps. Got it. Because they want to be even more confusing. And this is how a electrocapacitive switch works. So this housing pops into the plate. This goes underneath it. The rubber dome set underneath that, and then the springs. If you haven't seen this, and I know that most of you have, I'm not sure, Wiz, how familiar you are with EC technology, but it basically the spring goes down and makes contact with the PCB, causing the connection, and that is how it works. And then it uses its own, like, I would almost call them like Co-Star style stabilizers with the hook. I do not have any actual EC. This is the only type of, actually this might be my only EC at all board. So since we're here, let's just hit the F key. Hey, look. All right, so it works. It's the bane of your existence. I mean, so here's the thing, right? Well, let's just, who cares? Hey, it's a gift for me. I don't need that. Here's the thing, right? They're not really my sound because they're mostly silent. But I kind of like EC, and now that you can do on the newer ECs, well, I think EC would be one of those boards, and another reason why it's less appealing to me is that once you build it, you're done. You're built. I mean, unless you want to change out keycaps. Because you can change the weight of the domes, and as a matter of fact, if these, and it looks like they are, yeah, these, oh, that's actually that's the wrong ones. Let's grab one of these. Come on. Move this out of the way. We'll come back to that again. So you can see here, it's the bottom housing is attached via the two sides. Tell me something good. Okay, I will be right back. We have a surprise guest, and by guest I mean keyboard, on today's stream, and I will be right back because it did arrive. Okay, so as a special added guest, we will be doing an unboxing today. I was hoping I was able to. We will be unboxing the Keychron J9 Ultra HK, which is a brand new low-profile ZMK-based keyboard by Keychron. And I mean brand new because I can't even find it on their website, but we'll go over that later. So, and by the way, this is super light. The box is. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about now. Right now, we're talking about this guy. So, you can see here that it is connected by 2 connection points. You can actually replace the rubber dome on these with different weighted. Klex does it all. Klex is the boss. Let me just say. So we can see that it does, in fact, fit and works. And we'll pause the music for a second. I just want to give you a little sound sneak peek. Where did I put that? There you go. So this is your regular navy. Let's see if you can actually hear it. That's about as loud as it gets. This is the new one, the Whisper. Right, Texi. I said TTC earlier. You are absolutely right. It's Texi. Texi are the ones that made these. And then, like I said, these are the Haimu, which I like because they have a milky housing, but they are not as high quality as yeah, I don't know who makes the XVX ones. Let's see, they're written on here. These are they just rebranded a Texi. This is an A boards Texi switch. So the Whispers are just so they're the same. So it's just the combination version of this. So I guess it'll be fun to try out in 2 different boards, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the same. It even has the branding on it. It's right there. It is right there, the Adept. What the heck is wrong with you? The ones that were sold with the first batch Agars were the navies, were these, which did not have the magnets in them. I know, because I got one. At least I thought. Am I wrong on that? Look. It's going to make this go a lot faster. You can go out of the way. Okay, well, thank you for joining me, Toe Popper. I was glad to see you. And, yeah, I remember when Texie came out with the Whispers under their own name. I thought these were a different brand. I guess, let me, did I know High Moon makes their own switches, so. Yeah, there's no markings on the High Moon switch. This was sent to me by DY over at Unikeys. Mango knows where you can get these and actually buy them. And I'm trying to remember who she said, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But they don't actually sell this on Unikeys' website. Which is funny, because I had been, like, advertising it since he sent it to me. But apparently it came as a promotion with some keycaps. And I need to find out where I can actually get it and let everybody know, because like me, everybody loves this thing. I know I do. Okay. So these springs are going to go here, like this. Apparently, it's supposed to. But I guess we'll keep them off to the side while I finish building it. I'll have to look. Apparently I've been putting a lot of these in sideways. Because orientation doesn't matter. So these use completely square housings. So the tabs to take them out, you could put them in the side or in the top. I usually try to align it with the words, but apparently I was in a bit of a rush when I did this. All right. Need some more coffee with our coffee and keyboards. Or keyboards and coffee. That's what I need. I need a partnership with somebody. Of course, I would want it to be like, you know, like a navy blue or blue-gray colored. And that might not appeal to everybody, but it would be me. Oh, that's right. Because current keyboard, notwithstanding, and that entire shelf behind me right there, my favorite color is blue. And whenever I play board games, I play yellow. Because nobody wants yellow. And I am the type of person who will play yellow because I feel that it's an underappreciated color. Okay, so we will get going on this. I'm going to at least try to orient the Ooh, that's a fun look. Don't eat the switches. They're not for nomming. All right, there we go. So like I said, I'm going to try to orient these so that they are top to bottom. So I'll have to rotate that one. We should have just a little bit more than what we need for this board. And also for the... We'll need to unbuild this board again. Yeah, the rubber domes are a little gamey. It's like I was saying, we'll need to unbuild this to build the Wooting with it. I'm looking forward to that one a little bit because of the housing. milky housings, especially square milky housings with RGB, are like so peak. By the way, if you ever order the Agar EC and you do not want split backspace, you have to tell them that in advance, or they will not send you the right plate. I learned the hard way, and now I have split backspace that I can't unsplit. And that makes me sad. I am not. I have everything for that. I did it once, just to try it. But, I will show you, when we're done with this, I'll show you the Wooting. Because, frankly, the Wooting is at a place where it's exactly where it needs to be. And I'll show you what I mean. Not only, so I had to order the module to allow for the Wooting and other HE boards to be put into it, and also the plate. After the fact, and then I did their mystery box for their 7th anniversary. And they sent me the Flux 60 module as my mystery box. So I got the entire Flux 60 module, and then I was like, I kind of like the whatever you do, don't turn it over without removing those springs. That would be sucky for me to have to find springs on the floor. Yeah, it was huge. It was like the mystery box itself was $70. It is the aluminum. I think it might be. Funnily enough, that's what's in here. So this currently has the Flux 60 in it, my tofu. With their Whisper Ocean Whisper switches. Ah, nope, you're not going back in there right now. There you go. Okay. Stay. Do not fall apart. Hear me? Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Let's get some more switches in here. I realized that I can feel the side, feel the notches, because it's hard for me to see because it's all milky housing. So if I hold it at the right angle, it's easy to find. But I could just feel the top and sides, and it will, once it's smooth, I have the wrong side. Just drop it in. And it'll make it easier for me to change this later. Nope. And then I, of course, just go ahead and put it in the wrong way anyway. Like a lunatic. Okay. How's everybody's Sunday going, or has gone? Oh, by the way, the aluminum artisan. Yeah. This is one of my least favorite sets. And I'll tell you why. Because for some reason, cam, to me, generally does not sound good. Or, let me be specific. Cam super user. Because I had Cam Ocean Beach, Cam Ocean Front. The one where you could get the two-tone keycaps where it was matte and shiny. And the shiny keycaps sounded much better than the matte. Funny story. I mean, I don't know how funny it is, but come here. Right, in the home stretch now. Okay, so here is okay. So let's do a sound test. This is the XVX Whisper switches, which are essentially a rebranding of the Texi AE boards combination switch, Hall Effect and EC. Aluminum plate on the Agar with cam super user profile keycaps. So that's yeah. I mean, it's really a relatively low thing, and it's something I would cut anyway. So my thoughts on this is and we're still gonna build it in the yeah, I mean it sounds mostly like a Topre board. These switches do have kind of a different sound from an actual Topre rubber dome build, so it's kind of there. It feels the same, pretty much, as the regular navies. It actually feels maybe... No, it sounds... I don't see the point in this switch. Except to be able to move between the two. So if you have... Yeah, because there's not usually... Not that I've seen. Alright, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by, Wiz. Really appreciate, man. I haven't really seen any MX EC PCBs that have RGB. So there is no reason, especially if you already have navies, to go with these. You're awesome, man. To go with these switches. Now, like I said earlier, oh wait, actually we did not put in our little springs. Let's see how that feels actually. So from what I saw, this is supposed to go over like that. And then we'll just drops down. So, all right, here, hold on. Let's see. I don't think this is going to come out. But I'm going to put this right up to the mic and see if you can hear the twang. Do you hear the twang from the springs? That's so weird. Here, let's see. That is, yeah, I am not a fan of that at all. And it's not like they did not get misplaced on the stab. So, yeah, don't use those. I mean, it's not like it really gave me anything. Here, let's see. Oh no, that's not the spring. It's still there. That's just the space bar. Wow, that's a weird sound. Am I gonna have that same sound with the Navy? Did I just never noticed this before? I just never noticed it before. That is totally... I may have just ruined this board for me. I guess we'll see. I don't know. I'll probably forget about it. Yeah. So I'm guessing it's the spring popping back up and then resonating with the spacebar. We can try something else. So, not that, not that. I know I have something around here somewhere. Here maybe? No. Buried. Wooting. Switches. So many switches. Okay. So this is a GMK ABS spacebar. Well, this has the same problem that that Mango has. She hates this. It's still there though. I can still hear it underneath that on the uptick. Anyway, weird. Like I said, I hopefully will forget about it in the future and then not have to worry about it. But for now, she looked for interference and couldn't find anything. It is one of the big problems that she has had with her EC Agar. Agar. Let's change it up a little bit. Here we go. I did not. But, I mean, again, I haven't really had a problem with them until just noticing that just now. I mean, overall, I've been happy with the EC version of the Agar. They, let's see. I might ruin an Agar. So the spring itself is attached to the bottom. So no. Did I lose it? I think I lost it. Gosh darn it, all the heckin' back. Told you workers. There you are. Okay. Okay. Hey, it's the problem with rubber. So it's attached to the top like that. And then you have your slider, which I can't really show you. Which is attached on the two sides, or is stopped on the two sides, I guess I should say. Let's see. Mind ruining one navy. If I do. Okay. So they include a silencing ring, and essentially it's the same sort of slider technology as the Dynacap, just in an MX profile. Right? For Sync! Don't lose things. There, it goes back on like that. Let's see. And then it should fit back in here like this. Come on, go back in. I would love not to have ruined you. Oh, and I fucked up. I think I tried the HE, the Reds. I think I tried them unsilenced, and I did not like them. Okay, the right thing. There we go. Okay, so now we have it back in. And then we have our two extra little poles here, and that's what the dome housing is going to attach to. Although now that I've taken it apart, if you want me to try it unsilenced, we can. Yeah, fine. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it! Off, take that out, put it back. And put this back together. One side. Got my other side. Put it down. Alright. Let's pull off a keycap. We'll do G. G Willikers. They are not. But AE Boards has recently released new heavier domes for their MX rubber domes. That's it's quite a significant difference. And I remember why I didn't care for it. Now, there are other people who may actually really like doing this and running it on silence. If I have a problem with well, mainly I have a problem with switches that are silenced only on the upstroke. That's the same problem I had with the... Oh, what was that? There's a Hall effect switch that I had gotten that was semi-silent, and it was only silent on the downstroke. And so it only had sound on the upstroke. But I mean, it's plasticky, and this is not that great. Let's go ahead and we'll put it back in. Otherwise, I will forget. And then later on, I'll be like, why is this switch so bad? But I'm sure that there are people out there who are like, wow, that sounds great. I'm going to fill a whole board with these. And that is the best part, is the preference. Just like I was in Chris's Twitch last night, and She was building a board with MX Blacks, and I just love talking crap about MX Blacks. Because I do not like MX Blacks. Because I don't like scratch. Scratch is not the sound I'm looking for. This is about as much scratch as I can handle. Okay. So, overall, are they good representations of their Switch? Yes. As a matter of fact, I think that they are higher quality than their Haimu counterparts. So, even though, I mean, looking at them, with the exception of knowing that there's a spring inside, which makes this actually feel a bit heavier, even though they're supposed to both be 45-gram domes because they have springs in them, it makes it heavier. But this is, the rubber dome on this feels thinner, and it has a tendency to do this when you are pushing in the Switch into the housing or into your plate, and then you kind of have to work it. So there is something, it's a bit worse designed, essentially. And I'm guessing it's just using cheaper plastics. So, but for a Milky housing, at the time, it was the only ones I could get, and it was Hall effect. And I didn't really need the combination. So, that being said, would I recommend these switches? And we're going to try them in Hall effect, but I would say that if you want and you do not already have these, sure, but there's no reason to get them. If you already have navies, don't bother getting the XVX Whispers because you're not going to gain anything by it. If you have both the EC and the Hall effect and you kind of want to be able to switch between the two, sure. So now we need to take this apart so that we could rebuild. Turn off the sun. Put my Metropolis red spacebar off to the side. Don't lose your springs. Put you off to the side. There we go. Perfect. Right. Let's see. Go all the way off to the side. I am going to rebuild the Agar real quick, just so that I can get all of the pieces out of the way, if that's okay with you guys. If I'm going to be rebuilding another whole keyboard, I kind of want to have the first keyboard out of the way. So we'll do. I almost did that backwards. So we're gonna do a quick sound test with the switches that are in there in the Wooting first. And I believe that the switches that are in the Wooting right now are the Union Well switches, which are some of my favorite switches for Hall effect right now, especially if you have RGB, because they are a lot more budget conscious than a lot of Hall effect UFO switches, and really they're just really a good solid switch, and you'll see what I mean in just a sec. Well, just a minute. Let's say that. Freya's gonna be waking up soon. Good thing about dealing with Hall effect is I don't have to worry about bending pins or pushing out hot swap sockets or having the plate drop down, because you got to screw it in on EC in like 50 million places and screw it in on Hall effect. Did I accidentally push on it? I did. Because you want to keep your Hall effect plate and PCB all sandwiched together. You do that in a dozen places. So you could just pop out the thing, and then really the only thing you have to be concerned with is when you're putting in switches and Hall effect boards. I do not like paying over $1 switch. As a matter of fact, I certainly don't mind. I certainly don't like paying $2 a switch, which I have seen UFOs going for, and I'm like, no. Although I have OG, I built OG Holy Pandas. Speaking of $2 a switch. With original Envier Panda and Kale True Halos, like actual Holy Pandas. I have 103, soon to be 102. I need to mail one off to a friend who wanted a Holy Panda so they could try it out. Reminds me, I need to build a keyboard. Right? The classic original $2 a switch. Or more. Apparently they sold for like between $150 and $250 a switch. At times. And with good reason. I mean, they are one of the best. They are the best mid-bump tactile that I've ever tried. Oh, I should see if somebody wants to give me $500 for 102 Holy Pandas. I wasn't going to sell them because, you know, I had gotten them for free myself, so I don't know. With the way my finances are right now, selling a set of switches for $500, I would just do it. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm a bad person, but, you know, $500 is $500. I have not. I could try it. Let's see. I could try it on a brass plate, but the only brass plate I have is on the custom 65, the CSTM 65 by Drop. I have a copper plate in the Mode Envoy. I think I did try it in that, and I think it was great. I let one of my co-workers who likes tactile switches try it, and he gave it a ringing endorsement. He said, I have now ruined all other tactiles for him in the future by letting him try actual Holy Pandas. So yes, I have tried it, and it is good. It's good stuff. Maybe I'll rebuild it back. Come on, let go. Uh-oh. The problem with springs, not to be confused with the truth about ninjas. For those of you who have never heard the song The Truth About Ninjas, after my stream you should go look it up. It's pretty fun. S.J. Tucker. Don't worry, we're almost there. It's bugging me that that keycap was upside down. I may have a problem. Nope. That would be a bigger problem for me. All right. And Wenegron. All right. We're all back together. And again, I don't really hear it anymore. Let's pause the music for a sec. It's gone. How weird. Interesting. I do not know what that sound was, or where it came from, or where it went. All right, skater elf chick. You, I forget your name. Watch that keyboard for me. So we are going to now try and you will see why. Yeah, weird. Why I say that this is not going into my Zoom, because when you have a board's visual as dialed in as this is, you do not need to change it. Like, I love this look. I think this looks perfect. And then we'll do a quick sound test with the original switches, which, like I said, are the Union Well switches that I got from KP Republic and GMK Dual Shot. Here we go. So I think it sounds good. I think it looks good. It feels good. You've got this wonderful RGB glow. Now these are clear housings, which will be a little bit different than our milky housings, because you will have less of these, probably, we'll find out, you'll probably have less of these light flares. But we'll take a look at that switch in just a second. So there we go. So this is the Union Well switch. It's a solid bottom, 2-pin, clear top, somewhat milky bottom housing, light blue stem. It's got that medium light Hall effect spring to it. No audible spring crunch that I can determine from any of the switches that I got. And they're reasonably priced through KP Republic, friend of the channel. I say friend of the channel. They don't talk to me no more. They're still friends of the channel though. They've been nice to me, and they were really nice to me back when I was earlier on in my streaming and content creation. So I don't know if the Union Well, I don't know if Union Well is an actual maker of switches or if they just rebrand switches. But so this is currently in the, we'll call it an O-ring gasket, which is to say that there is a silicone outer part to the plate foam, and then there's poron in the center. So the alphas have a poron, so it's kind of like almost like a half plate foam type situation where your or dual plate foam, or yeah, I think you get what I'm saying. The outside of the plate foam is silicone, the inside that'd be interesting because I haven't enjoyed all of the Greetech switches that I've encountered, so I would just be interested to know if they also make the Wuche, because here is the here's the Pink Lotus by that is the Wuche Studio, and here is the and they look eerily similar, except for the hexagonal stem, of course, which is one of those new hallmarks of Wuche switches, like the Big Lucky and stuff. The Pink Lotus is alright. The Union Wells are better. If you're looking for a more muted Hall effect switch, then I would say the Ocean Whispers are good. Maybe that's it, because I do hate scratch. I'm gonna assume these are gonna work. Since they are the AE boards. Hall effect switches. Just with an extra spring in them. Now I do have reds. They're downstairs though. I don't think I need to bring them up for this, but it'll be interesting to see the sandier cousin to oh gosh. I don't think I noticed that, or else they would have been my most hated of switches. Most hated. Mostest hated, even. See, that's why Klex is so awesome, because, you know, between him and Mechanical Bionicle, they could write a book. Just need to get those two and Theron and Goat into a room to talk about switches at a meetup. How awesome would that be? By the way, for me, that would be awesome. Because, you know, there are a lot of authoritative people out there whose opinions I trust. But even though I trust their opinions, they're not actually friendly. I know you and Mechanical Bionicle are friendly. I don't know about Theron and Goat. I've never talked to them. I say them because I don't know if they're male or female. Technically, I don't know if you're male or female, but that doesn't matter. Wouldn't matter regardless. Oh, I was just singing your praises, dude. I literally have just spent the last entire commercial break talking about how awesome you are, how much you know about switches, about how I want to get you and Mechanical Bionicle and Theron Goat into a room to talk about switches one day at a meetup, and about how awesome that would be for me, and about how you're nice, and about how certain other people whose opinions I respect are not nice, and I'm not naming any names. Actually, I would name names, because person who I think is very authoritative on the subject of keyboards, but is not a very nice person, is Black Simon. Which is why I no longer watch him. And maybe it's just a situation where it's just a persona for his stream. But I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I know you think you know what your level of knowledge is, but You've got some... You're up there with the encyclopedia knowledge of switches. For those of you who've watched How I Met Your Mother, you get that joke. How I Met Your Mother and Friends, great examples of shows that are part of their time, because if you watch them now, you realize how cringe they are. And yet I am a product of my time, so I still like them. Which might make me a bad person, but only in the sense that I'm a bad person. I'm tempted, or so tempted, to go off on a political rant. Talking about how, why wouldn't you want to be woke? Why wouldn't you want diversity? That's it, though. That's really the whole rant. For everybody who doesn't like woke culture, why? Why do you want to be asleep? You dumb bastards. Anyway. Rant over. Yeah, I mean, it's just, when you look at them, they're not good people. They're not good to each other. They're just not good in general. That's kind of what makes it cringe, is that, you know, you end up and 3 to grow on. I mean, Freya and I have all kinds of inside jokes, especially about Himyam. Like, not good enough. Whoosh. And of course, you know, the truism about, you know, you don't see it until somebody points it out, and then it's like a pane of glass shattering. And of course, the perennials from Friends, like, how you doing? And we were on a break. Always a fan favorite. And pivot. Oh, we do pivot all the time, actually. When our plans are not going our way, one of us will just go pivot. So while I'm finishing this up, let's talk about the switches a little bit more. So going back, this I would recommend if you're looking for this rubber dome feel, but you want, and we're going to show that off real quick, you want that RGB glow. And you can see that there's still a little bit of light flare, but it's mostly gone, and now you just have this beautiful halo. It's much more subdued, the light flare, unless you really get that specific angle. And it's not like from here, like me looking down, it is not flaring at all. But if you want that rubber dome feel, and you want your RGB for like your Wooting, for instance, I can see this as being a viable alternative. I think that it is a better build quality switch than the Haimu, which is the only other rubber dome milky housing. But it also has the benefit that it's a little bit heavier because of the spring on the inside. So you kind of feel it a little bit more, and that's not a bad thing. So let's do a sound test. This is the XVX Whisper switches made by Texi AE boards. The combo switch, which has both the spring and the magnet. And it's GMK dual shot on the Wooting 60 in the Alumaze Wooting case. Hey, it has it. Anyway. And the only one it doesn't do it on is the backspace. It's interesting. Okay, well, that is that. So keep that in mind if you're using GMK keycaps, or maybe even just Cherry keycaps, but this is going to be an issue. Freya just arrived. Hi. She sits right there. All right. This one I will leave as is for now. I'll rebuild it later. I don't need to do another one of those on this stream. Or maybe I do, but we are going to do our unboxing. So, now we will set these guys off to the side. Move you guys off to the side so that I can make a little bit of room. And we'll just open this up. Take a look. This is again the Keychron J9 Ultra 8K. It has the banana tactile switches in it, so we do have tactiles in here. And let's see what we get. So we have our Windows keys, the standard Keychron manual, and card telling you to properly put in your switches. They are including now a bunch of stickers. We always love stickers. Quick start guide. Braided A to C cable. Combination keycap and switch puller. USB dongle and extender. And the keyboard itself. Yes, for the sound test. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess I'll do another one. Here's the sound test again. Well, as I would expect, there's a lot of ticking in the stabs. Only because it's a Keychron, so they suck. But there's a lot of scratch in these banana switches. Now, I know that they just recently released, because I think this is, again, I think this is a brand new board. So why are they using their old why are they using their old banana switches instead of using the new Palm banana switches? Because the new Palm Silk switches that they've been using are... Actually, come on, you. Yeah, you're coming. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try some different switches in it real quick. Now these are going to be linears. But in my opinion, they are better. They're a full palm. These are the Gateron Pinks. These are the bananas. These are the pinks. I mean, in my opinion, it's like night and day. Yeah. So, yeah, if you pick this up, I would replace the switches. I think that the stock switches are just not great. You should be able to re-lube the south-facing RGB. For those of you who that matters for, like not really myself. It's less of a thing these days. But... yeah, but I mean, also, Keychron stabilizers are always been kind of crap. Can't forget the coffee part. Keyboards and coffee. The RGB is actually incredibly disappointing on this. With the black bottom housing, it's not really a surprise. The feet opening is like, it's unsatisfying. You have your lights, indicator lights up here in the upper corner. This is going to be your battery level. So let's go. Let's go. This is the Keychron launcher. Let's see if the Keychron launcher works for this keyboard. Looks like it does. Great. So I know that the launcher is supposed to work with JSON files to actually provide you the ability to access your VIA compatible, but I can confirm that it does not recognize ZMK based boards. So, which this is. Kind of the big deal for me is that I love ZMK. I think that getting hundreds of hours out of your Bluetooth connectivity is freaking awesome, especially for something like this, where you're just going to pack it up and go, and you don't need to really worry about charging it, like, for half a year. This claims 400 hours, 480 hours, I think. So, then you have your Windows Mac, so we should be able to switch that. And you'll notice that it jumped from layer 0 to layer 2 and back again. So it knows what profile we're on. This is for the Bluetooth, the wireless, and the wired connection. There is nowhere to store the dongle on the keyboard, which is disappointing in the case of a keyboard that you want to take around with you. But again, you're not going to more than likely get that hundreds of hours of battery life by going through the 2.4. 2.4 gigahertz is not supported natively by ZMK. So you're going to be getting whatever Keychron has cooked in. So not the same level. It's not even on the same stratosphere. So you're talking probably just maybe a day, like 8 hours tops, with the RGB off. Now RGB does kill the ZMK battery life. In the case of the Bakken Echo Go, it went from 200 hours to 3. So take that. So you're probably looking at 6 hours or so on the RGB, with the RGB on, as opposed to the hundreds of hours. So if you're going to be operating this and you want your long-term battery life, turning your RGB off. Let's go ahead and we'll do a firmware update. It currently is on firmware 1.0.1. We're going to upgrade it to firmware 1.0.2. And let's flash. Flash! Ah! He saved every one of us. Another good 80s reference. More coffee while we wait for our firmware. And we are done our coffee portion of keyboards and coffee for today. Succeeded. It does not see it yet. There it goes. It has rebooted. It is reconnected automatically. I didn't even need to do that. Then if we wanted to do anything with our layer 3, which, you know, normally I do, we would do it here. For our basic keys, for instance, if we wanted to make this into a print screen, we would do that, and it would advance automatically to the next one. What, Kieran? I don't know if y'all heard that. That's Kieran. He's demanding.
He's mad I won't let him beat up on Kaylee.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be beating up on your sister. So we have home, we have page up. Here, we'll go ahead and we'll make this delete, and page down. Jump over to our media controls. That's play pause. Go here. Volume down, up, mute, and stop. This is going to be previous. That will be next. And then, yeah. So, pretty straightforward. Works just like the Avia launcher. I mean, it should, since they basically stole it from that. You can set can you? Yes, you can. Set a last key priority. Confirm. Which again, this is not a native function of ZMK. There is no sock built into ZMK. So this is an add-on by the vendor. What advanced mode we got? Down press, seconds. So you can set your debounce. You can set your wired mode up to 8K polling rate, your 2.4 up to 8K polling rate. Bluetooth is locked, of course, at 125 Hertz, standard. And this all seems to act just normally. Yeah, retest will clear it all. There's supposed to be sound effects. I did not hear them, which I'm fine with. This is where you would set your backlight. I like blue. I like blue. But no, we'll go with that. All right. Overall, I would say that it's all right. I'm disappointed in the switches. And the build quality is unapologetically plastic, which makes it really light. There's nowhere to put the dongle. And the feet, if you're going to use them, kind of unsatisfying. So, overall, I think that this board is great for ZMK and the battery life, built into a less than stellar housing. Let's see, quick check here. All right, so Keychron makes their own keycaps, and for things like the caps lock, it actually includes metal springs that essentially are stabilizers for things like caps lock, but not a full stabilizer like that is on the inner key. And then on here, you can see that, I'm also on call this week, so I may be wrapping it up shortly. You can see that the stabilizer pins are slightly shorter than the actual switch stem on these keycaps. So But I think that was it for my stream anyway. I will need to deal with that, and so we will wrap it up here. I would say for $110, if you really love the battery life, this might be a pickup, but I would change out the switches. That's me. Because if you're going to be getting it for the battery life, you're not going to be using the 2.4 gigahertz anyway. The weight, super light for tossing into your bag to bring around with you, and battery life is phenomenal, as you would expect from ZMK. So that is it. That's the stream, and I want to thank everybody for showing up who did, and I want to thank everybody for not showing up who didn't, I guess, because why not? I'm not mean or picky or vengeful, but yeah. And I like the little light blue accents. It comes with a light blue inner key as well if you wanted to go that route. Let's see, is anybody making keyboards? They will rue the day. No, hey man. People can't make it, they can't make it. People don't want to make it, that's their own prerogative. It's cool. There's nobody streaming that I know of. So we will end the stream here. I want to thank, again, everybody for showing up, and y'all are awesome. And chatting with you all is part of the reason why I stream that, and because, I don't know, I'm weird. Next week, I'm not sure what it'll be. It would be really nice if the Smurf would finally ship, but if not, I will find something to do. Maybe we'll build a GMK 67 on stream next week, which we could do. But yeah, we'll find out. It'll be exciting. Thanks for everybody showing up, and yeah, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your Sunday or your Sunday night,